The advent of electronic hailing taxis in Nigeria a few years ago signaled that Nigeria had joined the digital world. However, there have been hitches. The major problem in Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital territory, is that of access. Places like the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport is off the grid to e-hailing taxis like Uber. Many commuters are unhappy with this development, so I went in search of an aggrieved e-hailing taxi customer. Celine is resident in the Federal Capital Territory. She has tried using the Uber app thrice to the airport, but her requests were rejected by Uber partner drivers.
This is business. I've called them like 2 or 3 times and they are telling me that they can't go there because of registration issue. I mean, it's very bad. If they don't know how to handle business, they should close it down. I don't even think that I will use their services again. It's so annoying. This is an advanced world, you know. You need to put everything in order. You can't just render a half service and stop in middle way. It doesn't make sense.
Uber partner drivers say the airport is off limits to them because Uber is reluctant to register as a taxi service operating in the airport. In reply to this, Uber says it is an app. The Uber partner drivers are therefore left unprotected, and several encounters with Cab Operators Association in the airport have left many of them struggling to settle fines as much as 25,000 naira. Worse still, the partner drivers are sometimes beaten up and wounded while their cars are left vandalized.
They consider you as a tout. You don't register, they don't know you, what is an app, all those kind of things. So we have brought this issue to Uber several times, asked them to sort this thing out, go to the airport and pay or make a stand for us to operate them. The reply to us is that they are faceless.
If a partner driver's claim of paying 25,000 naira when caught at the airport is genuine, it is gathered that Uber repays such a driver. So, for an Uber partner driver to shuttle the airport, they prefer speaking with customers offline, striking a deal, and driving to the airport independent of Uber. What then does Uber have to say about this? Thank you for reaching out. We are unable to confirm an interview at this time. However, we are presently engaged in talks with the management of the Federal Airport Authorities of Nigeria on these issues, and we are hopeful that negotiations will come to a conclusive and positive resolution soon. Uber is a pro-regulation organization committed to constantly engaging with government and relevant stakeholders. We are open to many ways we can collaborate with others in the industry to ensure that the needs of travelers are met and to promote alternative means of economic empowerment for the city's rapidly burgeoning population. This statement was signed by Uber's communication officer, Francesca Uriri. The Commercial Department of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, handles the registration of taxis interested in operating in the airport. All efforts to reach the spokesperson of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, Henrietta Yakubu, hit a brick wall. When it eventually emerges from its cocoon, FAN has to reply to accusations that it is collaborating with the Cab Operators Association in the airport to frustrate efforts of e-hailing taxi services to register. It also has to explain why it is condoning violence and vandalism. The cab drivers in the airport should not take justice in their hands to enforce their territorial claims, even if operations of e-hailing taxi services at the airport might mean bad business for them. For Celine, who is still aggrieved, switching over to using other e-hailing taxi services is not negotiable.
If they go this way, maybe people will stop using their services or they will go down before they know it. They need to do something about it. When I want to go to the airport and I need their services and they can't provide it for me, I need to look for another alternative.
Obviously, at the root of it all, this is a commercial dispute, as charges of e-hailing taxis are far lower than the rates collected by other cab operators in the airport. But what role should FAN play in the unfolding scenario? Should it be seen as colluding with the cab operators in the airport to hinder registration of these e-hailing taxi services? And if, for instance, Uber has been negotiating on the matter for over a year, why has FAN not registered the company to operate in the airport? The scenario being painted is that citizens must be limited to a choice no matter what their preferences are, and certain businesses can be shut out of structure despite the fact that they offer cheaper and more efficient services. In all of this, if government has been screaming itself hoarse over creating enabling business environment in Nigeria, this is certainly one case in which it has failed. Chinemerem Joseph, STV News, Abuja.